Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everybody. Have you ever put on some music and don't know why you did? You're just listening to something. Maybe you sought a certain genre of music or a particular time frame of music. You ever think that maybe it's healing you? I mean, it's obviously making you feel okay, if not better, if not good, because you wouldn't be doing it unless it did.
Right.
It's healing. It's called sound healing, and it's part of what she offers as an intuitive Reiki master. I mean, it's on and on and on, what she does, heart math, right?
Yeah.
And so much to make people feel better, to help them heal. We're going to talk about sound today, not necessarily just music, but sound in general with Becki Koon from Stepstone. Welcome back. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you, Steve?
Good, good. And
Outside of the little glitches of the retrograde, right?
yeah, little things here and there, but we got on. We're here. It's all working well.
It
I
is.
almost feel like I should have put on some music before we started,
Right?
right? This is what we're talking about
Set
here.
the tone. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
find myself when I'm seeking out music, when I'm in a zone, maybe I'm working,
Mhm.
I always go back to songs that were popular when I was between the ages of, well, let's say 10
Yeah.
and 17.
Yeah. Yes.
And I don't know why that
Same.
is.
I do the same. It's like those. Well, music was great back. I mean, we had some great music, right? Not that there isn't now, but there's something about the music that you listened to when you were young. It really, it gets embedded in us, and it's familiar, and it takes us back to those times when, we were growing up, and whether you were happy or sad. I mean, sound is such a powerful aspect to our reality here.
As we're talking about this, I remember reading that the music that was around when you were about 17 kind of resonates your life, whatever
Mhm.
that might be. And I don't know why it's that number. Maybe it's you're just getting out of your kid years and starting to, see things through just a little bit of an adult eye, tiny
Yeah,
bit here and there. Everybody's different. Um,
sure.
but I find it interesting that you also seek out that same period of music.
I listen to it all the time still.
Wow.
And it's calming to me, and it doesn't matter what the song necessarily, but it's the genre that I listened to when I was younger, and it's just very, it just does something to me. It just brings me back to a center, a balance, a calmness, and it's also can be very enlivening. The some of the songs that I listened to back in the day, they got me going. They got my cells all excited. There was a joy that takes place. And so, yes, music is
Hmm.
very, very powerful, Steve.
I'm going to say that the music I might listen to from that time isn't always like, party songs or anything like that. I
Yeah,
gotta say.
yeah.
Um, it's just some of them are, I don't want to say sad, but a little more, somber sometimes. And they
Oh,
may
Pink
be
Floyd.
folksy.
I was a Pink Floyd girl.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
The different, just the mellow. Yeah, no,
Hmm.
I think because it brings up all aspects of our emotional makeup. Music can trigger all aspects of,
Right.
and so it's a beautiful mirror for us to tap into feelings and emotions, and it's a safe place for us to do that.
Okay, so it's a safe place. I agree with that. Maybe that's what it is. It's our thing, our space. Nobody has to be listening. You could
Yeah,
just, and you know what? I don't want you to listen to my stuff. I really don't. Unless there's like one or two standout songs that I think would help somebody else, so I'll mention them.
sure.
But it's
Mhm.
funny, we talk about that music when we were growing up, but a lot of it is sampled today. I was driving in here today, and I think it was either Nicki Minaj or Cardi B. I just looked down real
Oh,
quick,
mm.
and they sampled Dionne Warwick Walk On By.
Ah,
Remember that song?
right.
Walk On
Yep.
By. At the beginning, it was the exact same song. Then the rap kicked in, but it's
Yeah.
they just old stuff is new again.
Yeah. Well, and you think about energetically what's happening on the planet at the time, right? Energetically, what's taking place, with the movements of our culture and the expansion of what was taking place back in the 60s 70s,
Uh-huh.
as far as
Yes.
the movements that were happening were very, very impactful even now to our now moments. And so I think that music still carries that energy. It still carries that movement of expansion, of exploration, of us questioning our reality in ways.
I'm
Mhm.
glad you said that because anything that's done, any kind of art, everything, it's all
Every.
energy.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
maybe that's why some stuff resonates more than others because it's the energy that was put in. So even that song Walk On By, I think, Dionne Warwick, mid 60s, the thing came out. It's been sampled many other times, has been redone by other people too along the way. Um, but there's probably a reason for that because of, and not just the message,
It's
there's
not just the message,
it's not just the message in this, the lyrics, not just the lyrics.
not just the
Hmm.
lyrics. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. And that whole resurgence. Now you think of, and we talked about this before, and not that we're riffing on the 60s, but I think late 60s, Fifth
Hmm.
Dimension,
Hmm.
Aquarius, you
Hmm.
know, and it's funny that you look back at that time, see pictures and things as like, oh, look at those hippies hanging out doing, whatever.
Hmm.
Times were groovy, Aquarius, and all of that. But it is called the age of Aquarius that we're in now, and we are transitioning from the third, the fourth, the fifth dimension. So you take a look at that period, 60s to 70, right around there. Um, there must have been something with that music because it seems to resonate even more. I don't know what it
Yeah.
is.
Right. Well, and it was like it, as far as I'm aware of, it was like it was the beginning of the rise of that energy, right? It was awakening something up in us. It was an awakening of something really deep within us. Our cells resonate with it. It's like, okay, we're doing this. Okay, we're doing this. We're at this time on the planet where we're here experiencing this huge expansion of consciousness,
Yeah.
this evolution of consciousness. And that was kind of, those beginning stages of us, challenging and questioning and moving into thoughts that were maybe different, right?
Hmm.
So, and music is a beautiful way to deliver it. Sound is a beautiful way to deliver an energy, the energy of expansion and consciousness shifting. Music is a beautiful way. Music is universal, right? Sound is universal. I mean, you listen to Gregorian chants, or you listen to, the monks doing what they do, and some of the beautiful Christian music. I mean, it's moves you at such a deep level, but it's because it's vibration, right? It's vibration that then it actually enters our body, it enters our cells, it activates us in ways.
I tell you, as a disc jockey playing music on the radio since I was 17, I don't hear the lyrics most often.
Okay.
I can't remember lyrics.
Mhm.
I'm going to say I remember maybe 5% of lyrics, not the
Mhm.
whole song, pieces. I
Pieces.
don't. I find myself getting immersed in the energy of the music, the
Yes.
tonal feel of the music, just
Yeah.
like we say, the energy. And I'll give an example. Fleetwood Mac, The Chain,
Yeah.
okay, came out like 77.
Mhm.
Heard it a million times. And I know some of the lyrics, but I don't go deep in that. I'm listening to the sound of the song,
Mhm.
call it the beat, the energy that comes off of it. It
Mhm.
was almost like a slap in the face the other day because I found a YouTube video where somebody was able to isolate the vocals. And
Wow. Okay.
they did it by taking pieces of isolated vocals from that song. Maybe they removed the music. It is truly like they're singing it in the studio.
Wow.
And now I'm listening to the lyrics because now I can hear them because the music's not there. So I'm
Sure.
only focused.
Sure.
I'm like, oh my God, check that out.
Right. I
How
know,
many
right?
times have you played it? How long has it been around? Like, wow, listen to them sing. That's cool. But
Right.
I heard it, but I never heard it because that's where my brain goes. I don't know why it does that.
Mhm.
And yes, certainly, pieces of songs I'll hear a little piece here, a little piece there, but I never hear the entire song and the lyrics because somehow my brain is focused elsewhere. I don't know
Mhm.
if it's just me. I don't know if other people do that.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
it's weird.
Well, it's a beautiful part of a natural process that we do um, to um, to heal. Like sound is healing. So whether there's lyrics or whether there's just instrumental, my husband who passed was a musician, and so I have a studio and I have a lot of his pieces of music, and they were all instrumental. He's a guitarist, and most of it's instrumental. And so I would listen to a piece of music that he created, and I would be moved to tears. There's no words, but it was the music, and I would listen to it, and it would just penetrate me, and I would just be in awe of how he created what he created. And then I would ask him about the piece, like, what was going on with you? Do you know what precipitated this? Like, what was happening? And more often than not, he would say that it was a trauma or a sadness or something that he was struggling with that he then channeled into this piece. And I would be amazed because what I was hearing was beautiful music, but what he was doing was transforming an energy within him. So he was actually literally changing an energy that was maybe challenging for him
Right.
through the music. And it's like, and I think that happens. I think, even sad songs sometimes will be the very thing that will help us move through something that's been difficult. Or we say, oh gosh, that song is exactly how I felt. So it can be very healing and cathartic for us to listen to a piece of music that penetrates us, that really comes into us. And so in sound healing, it's the same concept. It's the recognition that sound penetrates our cells. And so and I did it the other day in a session. I had a gal on the table, and I just intuitively was moved to work with these little pods. They're tiny little speakers, and they're random generated sound, and they help the body go into a state of meditation. It bypasses the thinking mind because there's no melody, there's no words. It's just random bells and nice
Sure.
sound. But it bypasses that thinking mind so that it can go to that subconscious aspect of us and help the person relax. And I've done gong ceremonies here at the shop, using sound tuning forks. Sound is just such a powerful component to a healing journey, can be. But I mean, think about it. We listen to music. Most people have a music they're connected to, right? They listen. If they're feeling down, maybe they'll put a piece of music on and it can lift them instantly, right?
And it can even be, like we said, it can even be a sad song, but it does something. And it's like you said, the energy that was put in there makes you wonder of all the positive, uplifting songs that are out there over generations. Talking about your husband, what was going into it?
Yeah.
It could be that person, that musician, that artist could have been miserable,
Yeah.
horrible. We got a
Yeah.
great song.
Yes.
Because we perceive it in a different way, but maybe we're picking up on the energy signature that they put into it, and that's why we like it. there's something there, that we're getting something energetically out of it.
I absolutely believe that, because the transformation that happens when somebody does that, when somebody creates something, whatever it is that you're creating, a piece of art or music, or you're literally taking an energy and you're transforming it into something. And that transformational process we pick up on, we feel it. So the transformation that Jack was doing when he was creating music, and he was taking an energy of maybe heartbreak or sadness or challenge, and he was creating this music and transforming it into something that was very powerful to listen to. So he moved that energy, he transformed it into something beautiful, and that transformation is absolutely part of what I pick up on.
Wow. You
And
think about, yeah, we do. We do. We don't even know we're doing it.
We don't even know we're doing it, but we do it. Mm-hmm.
You think about people who sound heal and play gongs and different types of instruments. And I've spoken to some, and I say, well, how do you do it? Like, how do you know what to play? And they say, I don't. I just play. I set an intention first in what I'm going to play. Like, I'm here to heal anxiety, whatever it might be. Yeah. And then I just play. And it's what I'm putting into it that you receive that. I wish I were a musician so I could see what that feels like. But maybe we all are musicians. Free. Maybe we all are musicians. Like if you had a bunch of different things in front of you, like gongs or chimes or whatever it might be, you could play them.
Absolutely. It's just we get into our own judgment or our own self. We stop ourselves, but truly we all have the ability to move, to feel, right? Energy. And if you think of it in terms of energy, Steve, right? Like I talk about the work that I do as a dance of energy. I feel literally like when I'm working with someone, I feel this movement, it's like a dance of energy. Well, music, it's you're dancing the energy of sound. You're moving with the energy of sound. Art, you're creating with the energy of what you're putting on canvas or whatever. I'm dancing the energy of the person and myself as I'm working with them. So it's movement, it's vibration, it's frequency. So when you look at it in terms of that, we all do it.
I never thought of it in that way. And how this can be so impactful to help somebody heal. What are some things that we can do? Is it just finding a song that works for you? If you want to be, let's say, healed by sound.
Yeah, it can be that simple. If you think about the songs that, start thinking about the songs that move you, the songs that, uplift you or change the energy, because those songs, literally, when you put that song on, if you're in a kind of a rough state and you put a song on that typically raises your vibration and frequency, it's hard to stay stuck, because the energy of that song is going to be going through the air into your body, and it's hard to stay in that other space. It wants to move you. The energy wants to move you to a different state. And so it can be that simple as far as putting on something that typically uplifts you. But it can also be, in meditation, like voice, like your own voice. Sound can be, a gong, it can be chimes, it can be, whatever. It doesn't matter. It can be the sound of nature. Like if you're out in nature and you're listening to the birds and you're listening to the breeze in the trees, and you're listening to the rippling of water in a brook or a stream somewhere, that's all that dance of sound. And sound, even for people who can't hear, Steve, they can feel the vibration of sound. Like they feel it. So
It might not
Yes.
even be the actual sound. See if I can explain this. People that can't hear, music could be on. They might not feel the vibration, like like if you're feeling it, like you've been in a dance club and you can feel
Mhm. Yeah,
the
oh yeah, the
bass.
boom, 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 boom.
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
They might just be feeling or getting, maybe that's it, the vibration of the music
hmm hmm
permeating their being.
yeah,
Maybe it's not through here, but it's through them and they're
yeah.
getting something from it.
hmm It's almost as if all of our cells listen. It's
I'm glad you said that because more and more that keeps coming up in terms of the cellular level,
mhm,
the
mhm.
cellular level of things, where
Yeah,
things that we deal with, the traumas that we've had, it's not just in our subconscious, it's everywhere.
it's everywhere. It's in our body.
Yeah.
Our cells are intelligent. Our body's intelligent, and our cells are intelligent. There's an intelligence that's carried within. And the more that we recognize that, or even begin to understand that the body is this amazing, beautiful gift that we get to experience, and that it can heal, it can
Yeah.
experience, it can feel. I mean, all of those things, and it's intelligent. It will hold trauma for us until and if we find a place to release it. It will do things for us that we're not even aware of, because it's intelligent. It's trying to support us. It's helping us. And so sound, vibration, frequency is experience. It's a whole body experience, Steve. It's not just auditory. Although, that's
We think
great.
it is. Right, right.
Wonderful, right? But it is a body experience because it's a vibration, and that sound that goes through the air, and those invisible waves, they hit you, they come to your body, and your body then feels it. It
Why
must be
does why
body
does
too. We're all
why does our
energy.
body why do we do it? Like a negative experience, trauma, whatever it might be from way back. And again, we've talked about the different types of traumas, and it could be just a very little thing that you heard as a kid, but you internalized it forever.
Yeah,
Um, why does our now getting to a cellular level, why does our body hold on to it if it's not really that good?
I think it's because we haven't let like we haven't processed through it. We haven't felt it. Like sometimes when those things happen, Steve, we don't respond and react or process through it because it's too hard. It's like we just can't go there. We can't let ourselves go there because maybe it's not safe. Maybe it's not, something that you can safely feel completely. And so if you
Hmm.
can't feel something completely, if you can't process through something, that energy of emotion doesn't it's just kind of stored. Right? It can be a little thing, and it can just get stored over here. This part of the body will say, okay, I'll take that, and I'll hold that for you until you're ready to let it go. I'll hold the emotion of grief in the breast. The tumor that I had in my breast tissue held the energy of grief and frustration that I couldn't change the outcome of something, right? That I felt helpless. And so my body did a beautiful job of holding that energy until I was able to walk through the path that I needed to walk through to learn and grow from.
We're almost out of time, but I got to ask this question. Why is it sometimes so hard? Like you've been through something and I don't I'm done with that. I'm moving past that. But it still hasn't moved past you. Even though you're saying I'm done. I don't need to do that anymore. Whatever happened happened. Why do we hold on to it? Why is it not as easy just to say, I'm good, moving forward?
I think it's because we're such complex beings, Steve, and we don't recognize that it's not just a mental process, that those things that happen aren't just held in our mind or our emotions, but they are literally held. Our cells communicate. Every cell communicates in the
Mm,
body, and it experiences our life. And so I think part of it is we're just not aware that maybe our bodies hasn't let go. Um, energy movement is something that we're learning to work with, Steve. As we evolve and as we grow, we're beginning to recognize we are energetic beings, and we have the ability and the capacity to change and transform energy.
And when you
And
say we're just learning, do you mean collectively? Like
yeah.
all of us today are starting to kind of pick up on, many of us, not all of us,
Yeah.
that there is something there. There is energy.
Yeah.
The subconscious thing is not always supporting us, all of this stuff.
Yeah. And it's not new. It's not
Sure.
new information.
Yeah.
But it's like we're remembering that aspect of us more and more. We're remembering the divinity that we really are. We're remembering our connection to God, source, the higher energies or the greater energies than just us. And so that's when you can recognize something like that within yourself. That's when you really begin to open up and say, wow, so I am truly an energetic being. I'm in this physical form that communicates. It's all one, right? But this is what we're finding. We're finding that we're all connected. Like even like those of us, right, that live across the continent from each other. Like you and I, Steve, find that
Sure.
we have so many synchronicities and so many commonalities,
Oh yeah.
right? So we're recognizing that not only collectively are we connected, but ourselves. Every part of us is connected to our life experience.
I
And
don't view you.
sometimes,
It's weird. Like I don't view you as being far away. It's bizarre. And I don't think I've ever, aside from like people have known all my life. But I take that back because I've talked to a friend last 2 nights ago, and he's now in Georgia. We grew up together. He moved to Florida, then to Georgia last year. I still, I picture him there. I don't picture you there, Montana and all of that. It's like you're around the block,
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah,
feel that way. And maybe that's the energy exchange. I don't know.
yeah. I think absolutely it is. That's why I can do the work that I do on Zoom, right? That's
Yeah,
why I can do a session with someone like in Australia, and I can work with someone in Australia, and we feel like we're in the same place.
for sure. Yeah. And because it's the energy. It's not just we're looking at a screen. It's
Yeah,
there. Wow.
yeah, yeah.
So we gotta pick some good songs to listen to later.
I know. Yeah, we do.
And different stuff. Like I pick a lot of the same, areas and genres. Gotta go deeper. But stuff pops in my head. That's like I could be at the gym, I could be driving. Bing. Oh, I got a song. It was like a download. I got it. Wait, what is that? Um,
Right.
and there had been times that songs have popped in my head for a reason. Like
Yes.
real brief here. I was looking for an answer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I ever shared this. This was last year. Needed an answer to a situation, and I knew there was an answer. And I could tell you where I was, the stop sign I was at, the street I was on, all of that. And I heard, "Let It Be."
Yeah. Yeah.
Beatles.
Mm-hmm.
There will be an answer. I come to my office right here. Phone rings as I walk in. I got the answer.
Wow. Wow.
Bizarre. But then as I look deeper into that song, Mother Mary, uh, Rosemary was my
Yep.
mom's name.
Yep.
So it was like, it's almost like, yeah, I sent you that song. Just so be prepared for the answer because you got it in the phone call and it answered the question. And I printed out the lyrics and have them on the wall in the other room.
Wow.
Because,
Wow.
and song dropped out of the sky. I wasn't looking for it. I wasn't like, I don't know. It just was weird.
But that's the magic of life,
Oh, yeah.
right? Those things that happen that we can't explain, but we know, that was a message. There's no doubt in your being, Steve.
Not even the timing was too perfect for it.
Yeah.
The fact that, all right, so I hear the song, there will be an answer, let it be. And I had to let it be. But the fact that I walked in and got the phone call, literally walked through the door, give it 5 minutes, whatever. And then that was the answer. So when I put those together, that was the answer. That's the answer to what that was and why I got that song. Yeah. Amazing.
It's magical when you can step back and
Yeah.
recognize those things happen to us all the time, whether we're paying attention or not. we all have those experiences, and it's just a matter of noticing.
Yeah. I'm more aware now, but back in the day I wasn't. And the answers are probably there, and I didn't even see them.
Yeah. Well, we live life. We get busy.
Yeah.
We get busy in life. But, even in that, we are being influenced and impacted all the time by what we listen to, by what we, expose ourselves to.
Yeah.
And so, there's certain music and certain sounds that are really discordant with the body and your soul essence. And listening to those can get you irritated. It can get you upset and fired up and angry, right? There's energies like that too. And, but we have free will. We have the ability to experience whatever we choose to experience.
And those songs just show up. Like, here's another one. Yesterday, I'm working and this song just starts playing. I'm like, wow. By the group America, wasn't their biggest hit. Don't cross the river if you can't swim the tide.
Yeah.
I was like, why is this playing? What are you trying to tell me? What's the secret message here? We're out of time. I can keep going here. Becki, for us to find you, simply, it's your name, Becki Koon. So BECKIKOON.com, right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Always great talking with you.
Yeah, you too.
Now I'm going to pay more attention to the music. What's showing up.
Good. It's so healing for us.
Yeah. You just got to let it heal sometimes.
You just got to let it. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, wonderful talking with you, and Happy New Year.
Yeah. Happy New Year, Steve. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
We'll talk soon.
Bye for now.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.